Welcome to the Budget Mom YouTube channel. I'm Kamiko Love from thebudgetmom.com, and today we're doing a special episode. I'm calling it my Christmas spending diary. I get a lot of questions about my Christmas budget, my Christmas spending, some of my favorite gifts that I have found, as well as some Christmas traditions. And I'm also going to be sharing with you some Christmas decorations that I found because this is my first year in my new home. So all of that and more. This year in 2020 was a very different Christmas budget for me. So as most of you know, this is my first year in my new home, and with that I knew I wanted to save a little bit more money than I usually would for Christmas decorations. And I did spend quite a bit on Christmas decorations, but I'm the type of person that I like to reuse the decorations that I buy. So next year we'll be using the same tree, the same decorations that I bought this year. So it's kind of like a one-time expense, but we're going to be going down and breaking down my Christmas budget and what that process and method looks like in my life. Now, I have posted before about creating my Christmas budget, and I'll make sure to put a link in the description of this video for that YouTube video. And we're also going to be looking at my 2021 Christmas budget and how I create that and implement those savings and that budget in my life. So let's talk about where my dollars went this holiday season. So in 2020, I saved up $2,000 for my Christmas budget. Now, I do my Christmas budgeting a little bit differently. First, I take care of what I call my holiday essentials. These are things like food, travel, things outside of just Christmas gifts. Now, most people, when they think about a Christmas budget, they actually think about a gift budget, right? Money on how much you're going to be spending on presents. So I focus on everything else, and then whatever else I have left in my Christmas savings is what I use to buy my Christmas gifts. That's how I handle my spending and my budget, my Christmas budget in my life. So this year, before in the past, I had a Christmas budget of around, the last couple of years I did $500 and then I did $1,000, and this year was a big jump. So this was my first year in my new home, and I knew that I was going to want to buy some Christmas decorations, so I planned for that. I planned ahead. I saved a little bit every single month. Now, I use what's called sinking funds, and I establish a Christmas goal when I want to reach that goal, and I divide it by the number of months I have to save, and that's essentially how much I have to save every month to reach my Christmas goal. And this year that was $2,000. $850 of that was Christmas decorations. Now, part of that is the tree you see behind me. We live in a pretty big house with tall ceilings. Our ceilings are 13 feet high in most living areas, and then in our entryways it's actually 18 feet high. So I knew I really wanted to take advantage of this extra ceiling height that I've never had before. So this year I bought a brand new tree, and that tree, I have my Christmas spending tracker here. The tree actually ended up costing me $275 for a 9-foot flocked Christmas tree, pre-lit Christmas tree. It was $275. I got it from Amazon, and that's what you're seeing behind me. Now, essentially, most of my decorations as far as the tree and some other major decorations on my house came from Amazon. I did buy some rail garland I have a very high entryway with an amazing staircase, and so I did buy some staircase railing garland, and that was $140. I also got some various Christmas decorations, so Christmas pillows. I got some fake florals to go into my vases on my dining room table. I got some little wood sign stockings that has your names. I found an amazing person, an account on Etsy that actually creates them, and I'll put a link in the description for all of these different things, but they're little wood name signs for your stockings. I got some wreaths, little various things like that. I did end up getting ornaments. All of my ornaments as well came from Amazon. So I bought quite a bit of ornaments because my tree is so large, and those came to $75. Now, I have cats and I have a kiddo that runs around like crazy. So I buy the cheap plastic ornaments. I reuse them every year. I store them nicely when I'm not using them, and I reuse them every year. They're great because if they fall off the tree, they don't break. So those are the types of ornaments I do like to buy. Now, let's talk about gifts. I also got Christmas cards. This year, I only needed about 15 to 20 Christmas cards, so I just ordered them from Shutterfly. I got them during a Black Friday sale, and they ended up costing me around $23. So that's how I did my cards this year. Now, due to COVID, I was planning on hosting Christmas here, and because of COVID, we decided to not have everyone over at the house, so I'm gonna be making a small, intimate dinner, but there are still food costs involved with that. So I'm setting aside $150 for my food budget. Right now, in the time of making this video, we're still a couple weeks out from actual Christmas, and so I still have yet to spend that food budget, but it is definitely part of my spending plan. So I have no travel costs just because we're having Christmas here. It's just gonna be me, Christopher, and a few other close family members. So I have no travel costs, but that's something you definitely wanna include in your budget if you plan on traveling, plane tickets, gas, anything like that. So once I have the decorations, the food, the travel, everything else, then I focus on my Christmas gifts. Now, all of my decorations, the food, the cards, all came out to a little bit over $1,000. So far to date, I am 100% done with my Christmas shopping. And this year I did find some really good finds. Now, most of the time I like to get my Christmas shopping done early, and I like to shop for a good sale because I plan ahead on knowing what I want to buy as far as assigning like a gift budget to each person. How much do you spend on gifts? And that's a question I get a lot. How much should I spend for Christmas? We're gonna be talking about how to really get that plan and budget in place. But for me, how much I spend on gifts depends on how much I have saved for. I never ever go past the amount that I save for Christmas in my Christmas sinking fund. And so for me, that's really what determines how much I'm actually spending on gifts. Most of the time, I really don't do a Christmas budget per se per person, but I do focus on an overall gift budget. This year, so far to date, I've spent $746 on gifts, and I still have 2 gifts to buy. One is a $50 gift card to Big R, and I still need to get, my mom is asking for a Starbucks mug. So I still have to get her that, but other than that, my Christmas shopping is done. For Jamesy this year, my son James, I focused on one, I wanted to get him a book set. He is such an amazing reader, and he's making really great progress. So my son is currently in the 3rd grade, and he's reading at a 6th grade level. So he is far beyond the picture books. He's wanting now chapter books, which we haven't accumulated a lot here in the home for him for his chapter books. So I got him a Costco book set, and one of his all-time favorite books are the Goosebumps series. And when I was down in Costco in November, they had the whole box set series for around $22. Some other things that I got for my son, his big present this year. So usually I try to get my son one big present off his want list. For a really long time, my son has been wanting a hoverboard. And I was able to score a really good deal during Cyber Monday for his hoverboard, and I got it for around $83. So that was what I got him for his big Christmas want. I also got James something that I've been contemplating for a really long time. I got him a new phone. And as a mom, I'm sure you have this internal struggle about your child having a phone. And for me, it had to do with the apps and resources he has available to him on the phone, like social media, the internet, YouTube. I wanted to really make sure there was some type of parental control around those features. Well, I found the ultimate, I think, balance of having a phone and that. It's called the Gabb phone. Now, essentially, this is a child starter phone. It has no internet, it has no apps. It's essentially mainly used for texting or calling. And I really wanted my son to be able to call me wherever he's at, whatever he's doing, to get a hold of me if he's at his dad's or if he's at his grandma's. He can text me if he wants to get a hold of me. That's really what the phone is for and what I was focused on. So luckily I was able to score a 50% off coupon for that new Gabb phone. The Gabb phone I got with the case, I got for around $116. So that's what I ended up getting my son this Christmas. I got him some other little small things. I got him some Minecraft. He's huge into Minecraft, so I got him some Minecraft Lego sets. And then I have Christopher. So there's two big people that I plan on spending for. That's Christopher, my boyfriend Christopher, and James. I do a Christmas drawing with my family. So I only have to buy one present for my entire family. We all pull from a hat, you pick a name, and that's the person that you have to buy for. We have a $50 limit on the gift, so I only spend about $50. So I include that in my budget. So that gift was already bought. I have, for Chris, always get Chris a PlayStation gift card. So he's a gamer. I always get him a PlayStation gift card for his stocking. I also got him, Eddie Bauer was having an amazing sale on their cargo pants. And so I got Christopher a pair of those for around $44, which is insane because they're usually over $100. And I got that during their early Black Friday special deals. So the same like with my son, I do the same for Christopher. I get him one big item off of his want list. And this year it was a Fitbit Charge 4. So I ended up getting that from Amazon during Black Friday. I do like to get those bigger want items during Cyber Monday or Black Friday. The other ones I shop throughout the year. I got my son some Minecraft Lego sets, and anytime I saw a deal on that or one of the ones that I knew he would like doing, I picked it up earlier in the year because I had my cash available and set aside to do that. So that's just some of my Christmas finds for my gifts this year, what I kind of spent on my decorations. So far I've spent around $1,600 of my Christmas budget of $2,000. That leaves me about $390 left to get my last two presents, including my $150 food envelope. Now I know next year I won't have all the Christmas decorations, so I have some changes that are going to be happening next year. Let me show you how creating a Christmas budget and what that looks like in my life. So let's look at what establishing a Christmas budget looks like in my life. So the first thing that I do, now I'm going to be talking about my Christmas budget for 2021. And the best way to figure out a Christmas budget is to have a realistic foundation of how much you have spent in the past. And one way to do that is to track your Christmas spending. So one of the best ways to establish a Christmas budget in your life is to get a realistic foundation of how much you have spent in the past during holiday season. So for me, what I do now, what you're looking at, this is my actual cash envelope, my sinking fund cash envelope for Christmas for 2020. As you can see, I do kind of track what my spending is on my envelope, but more so it's just to track my spending and how much I have left to spend for that Christmas budget. So right now I currently have $390 left in my Christmas envelope to spend. And one of the things that I'm going to be giving you access today is my free Christmas spending trackers. This is really important if you want to establish how much to save up for next year. So it gives an accurate spending log of how much you spent on gifts, on others, on giving, on decorations or food or travel. That way you can come back to this to help you establish your new Christmas budget in the future. So this is what I did. I know I'm not going to be spending as nearly as much because I won't have my Christmas decorations to buy for again next year. So I created my new spending Christmas budget for 2021 at $1,500. And that's based off of what I spent this year and tweaking it for the future. Now, I might not have a lot left over in my Christmas budget in 2020, but I have a feeling I can really challenge myself to save out of the $1,500 that I'm setting. But I'm always the type of person, I like to save more and not use it than not save enough. So These Christmas spending trackers are available in my free resource library, and that's what I'm currently using to track all of my Christmas spending in 2020. So it's true, I have technically, if I start saving in January, I have 12 months to save for Christmas, but I really like to have my savings saved by November. That gives me about 2 months to really shop and to have money by the times I like to shop for my big want items for my Christmas gifts like Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So if I take the $1,500 and divide by 11, that gives me $137. I then use this Christmas budget to budget out how I'm going to spend that $1,500. Now, we do have these worksheets in my free resource library as well. You get a Christmas budget. You also get a Christmas card list to save all of your different addresses and the people you want to send Christmas cards to. And then I do have a Christmas gift budget as well, who you want to buy for, their budgeted amount, and everything like that. So this is what implementing that Christmas budget into my life looks like. I use these worksheets. Now, I also have a new sinking funds envelope I'm going to be starting in 2021. I color in my tracker as I save, and I track how much I save in dollar amounts on the back of my envelope. So what does this look like in my budget? So I've already created an estimate budget for January. And essentially what I do is I put my Christmas savings down here in my sinking funds, and you can see that I'm saving $137 every single month for that Christmas budget. So I have my estimated income, what my bills are gonna be. I'm taking care of my variable spending and the amount I wanna pull out for my cash envelopes, as well as my sinking fund. So Christmas is only part of it. I save for other sinking funds as well, like birthdays, property taxes, car maintenance, sports, house maintenance, vacations. All of that goes right here in my sinking funds because I'm saving a little bit every single month for a bigger expected goal. So that's what the Christmas sinking fund would look like in my budget. So another big thing that I'm going to be changing to the way I set up my budget for 2021 and my plan for my spending is I'm going to be using a money saving app called Fetch Rewards. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, then you know all about how I use this amazing money saving app. So essentially what you do is you scan your receipts, and your receipts can come from anywhere from grocery stores to Hobby Lobby or gift stores or whatever it may be. Scan those receipts and they turn into rewards points. You then use those rewards points and turn them into gift cards. So right now my plan is to rack up those rewards and use them to buy Christmas gifts or Christmas supplies or anything in my Christmas budget. So the best thing about Fetch Rewards though is that it not only does physical receipts that you scan onto your phone, but you can also link your e-receipts for things like Amazon purchases or Walmart grocery pickup. So the next time you're out shopping throughout the year, if you want to do this with me and rack up those points to turn them into gift cards, make sure you scan any of your receipts. Now, I like to personally save my receipts for a couple days so I have a good little stack and I do them all at once. And essentially, I then churn those rewards points into those gift cards that I'm going to be using for within my Christmas budget. That might help me be able to save some of the amount that I want to save from my $1,500 that I'm going to be saving so I can apply it to 2022 Christmas budget. The great thing I think too about Fetch Rewards is say I buy a Christmas gift off of Amazon. I can then take that receipt from Amazon and turn it into rewards points to use on something else. So it's a great way to ultimately save money by getting those gift cards and adding those into your Christmas budget or your Christmas spending plan. And that's what I'm going to be doing in 2021. If you want to join me in using Fetch Rewards to gain gift cards for your upcoming holiday budget, make sure you check out the link in the description of this video where you can sign up. Make sure to use code TBMOM, where you can get 2,000 bonus points for signing up after scanning your first receipt. Now, another expense that pops up during the holiday season is wrapping supplies, down to tape and different wrapping paper. I was lucky that I didn't really have to buy any of that in 2020. I had a lot of it from previous years that I've stored kind of all over the place. And luckily I was able to find all of the stuff and kind of put it into a pile when I moved into the new home. But in 2021, a lot of that stockpile is going to be used. And I really thought about what I'm using to wrap my gifts. Now, I want to move towards more eco-friendly wrapping paper ideas. And I kind of thought, how could I really make this work in my life? You know, the sad thing about wrapping paper, you know, the pretty shiny stuff you get, a lot of that isn't recyclable. And so what I want to do is I'm going to actually be wrapping my presents next year from old newspapers and old magazine pages. It's a little bit more work and it's not as pretty, but for me, I don't have to pay any money for it, but the biggest reason is it's not all going in the landfills, and that's important to me. So that's a big area of my spending that I'm gonna be changing and kind of cutting out as far as next year. Another thing, I realize that I waste a lot of money on Christmas cards. The pretty photo cards that you get, yeah, they're nice, they look great, but for me, I don't have a really large family, and I don't have a lot of people that I send Christmas cards. Usually it only ends up being about 15 to 20 people during the year for Christmas cards. But I do feel it'll be more meaningful if I make those myself. I know I can conquer the goal of at least completing 15 of them. So I'm gonna be hand making my cards next year. And those are two big changes I'm gonna be making to my Christmas spending in 2021. So that is all of my Christmas spending diary, some of my favorite gifts finds that I found in 2020, as well as some of the decorations, new decorations I brought into my home, as well as what my Christmas budget is going to look like in 2021, how I kind of start that process and that budget in my life, and what it all looks like. If you found this video helpful, please like it and don't forget to subscribe. I can't get it together today. My mind's going 1,000 different ways. Okay. So it's not a huge Christmas